welcome, Daryl Scanlon, our
Sarah.
nutritionist. Now, this is actually part one of your series on food requirements for kids. And we're going to start with the little ones, and we'll work up to older ones.
I'm happy to hear that Colin doesn't share the problems of being a picky eater here. So you're most fortunate.
I truly am, because I was a miserable kid to have at a table when I was little. I didn't want to eat anything.
A lot of parents share the concern that their toddlers are not eating enough food for proper nutrition. This is because they're so used to being parents of that fast-growing infant with the hungry demands, and the toddlers have really turned the tables on them by refusing to eat or being picky eaters at meals. Now, this is not a real need for concern. The reason is that toddlers have less than half the growth rate of infants. So your toddler will not be as hungry, nor will it need as much food. So there's no need for concern here. Now,
so we can all breathe a
sigh of relief.
Because you go through those things, oh, come on, one more, just one more.
Exactly. When we're talking fat now, that's a different issue. It depends on the age of the child. Children who are 2 or younger should be on whole fat milk products because they need the fat for extra calories for proper growth. If the child is over 2, the child should be eating low-fat or non-fat milk. What do you feed Colin?
Well, I vacillate, to tell you the honest truth, between the non-fat and low-fat.
Okay, that's good.
I talked with his doctor about it, and he agrees with you and said that he can now go on a lower fat. But I keep thinking, I'd just give him a little bit of that, the milk that has a little more white in it instead of the blue.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. A good mix. You're giving him low fat if you mix it up like that.
I vacillate
back
and forth with it.
Portion sizes are also as important as what you feed them. If you give a child too much, you're going to overwhelm them with food. You'll cut the appetite. They'll refuse to eat. So a toddler, by the way, is 18 months to 3 years. In case any of you didn't know what a toddler's age was, okay?
All right.
And what I want to show you is what would be the food requirements for a healthy toddler for the day.
Okay.
So let's start with the various food groups. Let's start with the milk group here. Children, toddlers specifically, need 2 to 3 cups of milk a day. Now, you don't want to give them more than that because the food that they take in terms of milk will replace solid foods that are rich in iron.
Absolutely.
Milk isn't rich in iron, so you might get iron deficiency here. So no more than 2 to 3 cups of milk per day for a toddler.
Okay.
Let's move into the next group.
Are there any substitutions for that if they have a little yogurt instead of milk?
Certainly. They could have yogurt, you could have a piece of cheese, you could have some cottage cheese, but the dairy group, certainly.
Right.
And not too much milk because of that, not enough iron.
Okay.
Let's move into the second food group here. This is the fruit and vegetable. And here, it's 4 servings a day. Minimum for a good, healthy toddler.
Now, 4 servings is how much?
Okay. A serving size is 1 tablespoon, and the rule here is 1 tablespoon per each year of your child's age.
Now, isn't this a relief? For me, it was just unbelievably comforting to hear this.
Yes. If you had a 1-year-old child, you can see here that I've got 4 tablespoons. That would be the minimum requirement for fruits and vegetables, a combination now of fruits and vegetables. 4 tablespoons a day. And I've got 2 tablespoons here of broccoli, and 2 tablespoons of applesauce would be the minimum requirement.
Now, what about 4 tablespoons of applesauce? Would that work?
It'll work.
Or a half of an apple?
It will, for a half an apple. It will work, but let's look at the apple over here. You want to try and get a combination. How about 1 broccoli to 3 applesauce? Let's try and get a combo.
Got to negotiate here sometimes. Get creative.
The older toddler, like Colin, will probably eat a whole apple. For the younger toddler, you're going to want to cut this into child-sized portions and give them small pieces during the day. You don't want to overwhelm the appetite again. Also, let's move into, and this is our last of our fruit. Let's go into, this is our third group, food group. This is the cereal, and this is our bread group. Toddler needs the equivalent of 1 slice of bread a day, or 1 cup of pasta, or 1 cup of cereal.
Get that, or. They don't have to eat all of this,
Not
just
all of it.
one.
No.
Think about that.
Exactly. And kids will love this pasta. Look at this, with the curly little shapes and the color. It's great finger food for them.
And they have the little alphabet ones. They have all sorts of
Exactly.
fun
Again,
shapes.
if a little toddler, you might want to cut this bread up into,
quarters.
Kid-sized portions. Our last food group is protein. And here, toddlers need 1 ounce of protein a day. You want to give it in 1/2 ounce serving sizes, though. For instance, I have down here, these are 1 ounce servings, and I've got cheese, I've got a little hamburger, and I've got some chopped chicken or some cut up chicken, which is nice, but if you have a finicky eater, let me tell you this, if you've got a finicky eater, and a lot of kids are finicky in the toddler stage, you want to change the texture, the flavor a little bit. You want to change the temperature maybe. Instead of a hamburger, how about child-size turkey meatballs? You make them just as you would a regular meatball, but you use ground turkey. Or instead of chopped up chicken here, how about a kid-size chicken drumstick? They can pick it up and chew on that. It'd be great. Now,
are there alternatives?
Instead of a banana, I call these banana freezies. Let's open up one of them. Instead of just handing a banana to your child, give them a banana freezie. Have a banana on a stick. I've coated this with sweetened wheat germ. It's great. They will love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, come back and tell us some more. I love this.
I'll be happy to.
It's such a relief. Thank you very much, Dara Lee.
Thank you. Would you like to be banana freezie?
Yes, I would, actually. Okay.